Hey everyone, so seems like I'm gonna be on a schedule where I film 2 videos in a day and just post those, but we'll see how things go in terms of scheduling and posting. But for now, second video I'm filming today is about the experience I know and have seen a lot of people talk about who have seizures, that they have people in their lives who don't believe that they have epilepsy, or that they don't believe them when they tell them that they have seizures. And I've experienced that only with one person. You know, I've had people ask questions, kind of like a little bit more from a lack of understanding, but I've read a lot of people's comments and sharings in some of the support groups out there, expressing how sometimes even their own family members or friends or, you know, significant other don't believe a person when they say they have a seizure disorder or epilepsy, and they just have told that person that, oh, you're just doing it for recognition, you just want attention, like you don't really have seizures, you don't really have epilepsy, you're just doing that for attention. And it's caused them a lot of harm, like not just hurt, which of course is a big part of that, but actual harm. Like there's psychological harm, but also if you don't believe a person with a seizure disorder and therefore they maybe can't get the help they need, then that could lead to them having more seizures, which it often does. And seizures, when left going on for too long or, you know, not taken care of, can cause like brain damage or alter the brain in certain ways. And I'll get more into that in another video too, because that's another one. But it can be very dangerous because there are rare instances where people have died from having a seizure. But yeah, like for instance, you could cause that person physical harm too if you're trying to restrain them, if they're having a grand mal seizure where their limbs are flailing everywhere. Trying to restrain someone who's having a seizure like that could actually harm their physical body. So don't do that. But like I said, not believing someone is dangerous, because then if you're the person who doesn't believe them, it could lead to that person being physically, mentally harmed. It could lead to more serious brain trauma. And like I said in some of my other videos, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical expert, so don't take this as like medical advice. But I have had seizures for over 20 years now, so I've been paying a lot of attention and reading about it, hearing about it a lot. Maybe I'll have my friend Frank come on the show, because he's got even more knowledge about it than I do. But point being, it's really not fun to have someone not believe you. For instance, in my case, it was someone I worked with. I'll kind of leave their name and the capacity in which I was working with them out, but yeah, we had been working together for at least 2 or 3 years at this point. So he had gotten to know me and my personality, and this person, you know, I don't do things for attention. I don't seek recognition like actively. I think everyone maybe wants attention here and there, of course, but yeah, I don't like seek it out. I've actually tended to be a pretty shy person. So yeah, and this person had even seen me have seizures, which is even more bizarre. But they proceeded to tell me like, oh, you know what? I think you're just saying that you have seizures and you're trying to do them. Maybe even you're having them on purpose to get recognition or get attention from other people, rather than, you know, paying attention to yourself. Something to that effect. I don't remember the words because it was probably 6 or 7 years ago now, but maybe more. yeah, no, I really had to be assertive in that situation and explain, like, why would I make that up? Why would I even put that out into the universe? Like, especially if you're someone who believes in like the law of attraction, or, you know, that idea that thoughts become things, what you talk about and believe in, you kind of bring about. Just on the off chance that that works, like for the doubters out there who don't believe in that, like I totally understand that. And from, you know, from a scientific point of view, my point is, just on the off chance that that is a possibility, maybe it's not even an off chance, but in this context, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can to everyone. But I remember saying something like that, like, why would I even put it out into the universe that I have a condition that harms my brain, that slows me down, that puts my physical body in danger, that confuses my mind? Like, that if I were faking it, it would be so disrespectful and just mean and potentially hurtful to people who do have seizures. And I am one of them, but like, you know me well enough to know that I wouldn't be disrespectful or hurtful to someone else on purpose for my own gain, especially if it would hurt them. Like, it was just this convoluted conversation. So I kind of had to explain, and eventually this person came around, thankfully, but it just kind of surprised me. It took me by surprise. And several years later, someone else also more asked, like, are you sure you're not doing that just on purpose? I'm like, I can't have a seizure on purpose. Maybe there are people that can in the world. I don't know. I'm not one of them. If I could control whether or not I have seizures, I would actively choose not to. I would choose not to be on crazy medications with very unpleasant side effects. I would not. I would rather not. But I do have them, and I am on medications, and this is my life. So I just wanted to make this video to sympathize and empathize with anyone else out there who maybe had that same experience, and to educate and let anyone out there who maybe doesn't understand or is skeptical or just isn't aware that that was even a thing, that people doubt other people having seizures. It is a thing. It does happen to people, and it can be very hurtful, especially if it's a family member or a friend, to someone you love that doesn't believe you. In my case, it was just a coworker that main time. So that wasn't as hurtful, but like, it still got to me, right? Obviously, I still remember it pretty powerfully. So yeah, it causes, you know, hurt, but it can also cause harm. You could end up causing like just a variety of ways for that person to come into harm or danger for themselves if they don't get the treatment they need, if, you know, your actions put them in danger because you don't believe them and you think it's just a giant show, that they're just putting on some kind of performance. That's, yeah, no one wakes up and gets out of bed one day and be like, yeah, I have seizures, or let me try and fake a seizure for like 2 minutes today. I don't think anyone does that unless they're in some kind of acting class or capacity, like actual performance scenario rather than real life. So just don't do it. If someone says that they have seizures, believe them. If, you know, even on the chance that they don't actually have seizures, it's not going to harm you to believe them when they say they do. If anything, that will help protect them, and just, you know, let the doctors and the neurologists deal with it. It just, you know, maybe get the person the help they need and go from there. And if you're someone who is not sure whether or not you've had seizures, you can always, or you have a family member or friend who you're not sure if they do or not, you know, have them go to a doctor, see what their physician says. Maybe you ask your physician for the recommendation of a neurologist who can confirm whether or not you have them and what to do. But yeah, don't not believe someone. Believe someone if they say they have epilepsy or seizure disorder. Otherwise, you're causing a lot more harm than good. And that is my rant for today. This video ended up being longer than I anticipated, but thank you for listening, and catch you next time, guys. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care.